where we've been looking at the future of the hotel industry, and a key area to consider is the future of corporate conferencing, of which this event is just one small example. Now, in Dublin last year, we saw 68,000 people come from countries outside of Ireland and visiting to the city to attend corporate events. And in the first 2 months of this year, we've already seen 50,000 people booked in, so I think that this year will be considerably up in 2014. This is a market already worth more than 100 million euros to the Irish economy, and is very important to the future. The trouble is, the market is changing fast and very few hotels are really geared up for it. Let me give you an example. For a large corporate event, it's not unusual for the production team to have a budget in excess of 150,000 euros for the lighting, the staging, the screens and so on. But many of these companies who are doing the highest profile events for their most important clients or their biggest and most important business heads from around the world, they're going to spend a lot of money to design something that makes the hotel venue look totally unique. And they want to walk into a ballroom or whatever it is without feeling it's a ballroom. They don't want it to look like a conference room. They want it to look like it's their place, their experience, like wow. And that means uplighters, it means complex lighting rigs, it means probably could be a wall-to-wall LED video screen, it could be some dynamic staging which comes right out of the middle of the audience, it could be some very clever atmospherics. Might be a very interesting entrance that makes it look like a bit of a time machine as you walk in, or whatever it is. I speak at up to 60 events a year, and I can say that the degree of imagination, creativity, the blend of marketing and brand and customer experience, or all of these things create a very eclectic and exciting environment for people to learn, to meet, to interact and to do business together. And most hotels are just not designed for it. You walk into a traditional hotel room and there's nowhere to hang your big lighting rig. The power sockets are completely inadequate, and if you're not careful, you blow the fuse of the entire half of the hotel. And believe me, I've been in conferences where that has happened. You know, you have to turn the air conditioning down because otherwise the power system's going to melt. But there are so many lights in that room that the room is now so hot that the guests are complaining that they need the air conditioning turn up. So all kinds of things need to be considered with corporate conferencing. The distance between the big venue and the cultural locations where you want to get guests to, whether there's going to be traffic jams between one and the other, whether you actually have the kitchen capacity to be able to serve 1,000 guests very rapidly through a 3-course meal to allow a decent evening entertainment to take place as well in the same time. All of these things are very important. I would say that conference organisers for big companies are under massive pressure to deliver not only quality, reliability, experience, but also uniqueness. So they're looking for something really interesting. Now, one of the easiest ways that hotels can do that is to abandon the hotel building altogether and to put up something outside. Yes, good old-fashioned marquees. We can learn a lot from the weddings industry. There's something about outside, about bringing the outside into the hotel, about bringing the hotel into the outside. Because outside is unique. Hotel ballroom boxes tend to look the same, whether you're in Singapore, New York, Hong Kong, Madrid, or Dublin. But once you're outside, you're seeing the landscape, you're seeing the grass, you're seeing the hills, you're seeing the colours in the sky. You're hearing the bird life. You're breathing the same air. You know you're in that country, in that place, in that cultural heritage, in the middle of all of that history, in the middle of all that glorious natural scenery. So outside is a fantastic place to build an amazing experience for corporations. Again, not the traditional marquee, but it might be small islands of tents and connecting walkways and interesting lighting, and something looks absolutely wonderful, a total wow. This is really important. And in that context, you'll see outside, well, that takes you into other places. It takes you onto ships or boat, more physically moored boats, or small cruise ships which go around during an evening dinner. It takes you into all kinds of exotic locations that perhaps you wouldn't normally think about, where you can actually build an interesting venue. I've seen events where they put up a tent inside a huge warehouse. It may sound odd, but it actually worked. I've been in an event where people built a theatre inside an old aircraft hangar. Actually, the opportunities are extraordinarily varied once you start breaking out of the mentality of thinking that you've got to give all your guests a bedroom upstairs and then a conference room downstairs and an eating facility next door and a coffee room around the corner and an internet cafe. No, let's just tear that all up. Just think again, how can we do something that's totally wow? And when we do that and we deliver it very well with the right numbers of staff to make sure we can actually deliver it at speed when you make all these transitions from one piece to the other, then you will have a corporate conferencing industry that will become truly famous.